Good morning. Good morning. I believe we are live. We'll just give everybody a minute to join and get started. Welcome to day 4 of the 5-day real estate sales and marketing audit. Today we are going to be talking about operations in our business, and so I'm excited to jump in and get started. We'll just give everybody a minute to join. All right, I'm going to go ahead and share my slideshow. I will keep an eye on the comments. If you can give me a thumbs up or type into the comments, let me know you can hear me and see me, and we'll jump in and get started. All right, so we should be able to see my slideshow now. So again, today we are on day 4 of the 5-day real estate sales and marketing audit. I'm going to give you as much information as I can today in our time together. We've been live every day this week at 10 a.m. On Monday, we did our 5-day audit workbook. If you were not here for day 1, then you definitely should go back and watch that recording, and you can access the workbook by registering for our audit. You get emailed the workbook. Then each day this week, after we audited, we looked at those 4 components of your business: marketing, sales and lead management, operations, KPIs. And then each day this week, we've been covering one of those topics. Today, we'll talk about operations. All right, so this information will help you whether or not you're an REI Sift user. Obviously, when I talk about things, I'm going to talk about it in context of using REI Sift. So if you do become a user during our time together or after taking the challenge, you can use a code 5-day audit when you sign up to get $25 in free credits. All right, so I am Jessica. I am in charge of customer education and customer success here at REI Sift. I am a former math teacher of 7 years. So what that's really enabled me to do, I feel, and is be able to break down bigger concepts into small actionable steps. Whether I do that when I'm teaching math or when we're talking about how to set up operations or how to, create your filtering, your marketing filter presets. I'm able to take those big concepts and break them down. At REI Sift, we help you close more deals cheaper, faster, more consistently because we are a sales and marketing CRM or system. We really believe in education, and so that's why we do things like have this 5-day audit for free every month. Tyler goes live every Monday at 2 p.m. to do the Ninja Hour, where he shows marketing in real time and lead management in real time. So we really believe in education, and we have in our community, our Facebook community, we have a large group of like-minded business owners. All right, so let's dig into today's topic, which is operations. So we talked about on day 1 what some of the problems when we were auditing, what some of the problems we ran into. And what we really kind of broke it down to be is that people didn't know what steps to take. They didn't know what type of marketing they want to do, or they didn't have the clarity in their data to be able to make that actionable. Um, a lot of times the problems people said they wanted, like, I don't have enough lead generation, right? And so like they would have like a bigger problem, a high level problem, and sometimes we have to dig into why we might have that problem. And so it really comes down to the insight and the data to know what's been marketed to, what hasn't. Are you handling everything appropriately for their situation? Do you have the clarity to know what steps are next or what steps everything's been through? And having processes from the day you acquire new data, upload it into Sift, skip trace it. You know what marketing you want to do first, what steps you're going to take with the people that you haven't reached yet. We talked about yesterday lead management. So if they do become a lead, you have an appropriate way to handle each lead for their situation. And then all of that is going to get tied together when we talk about operations. Operations will help you have the insight, clarity, and processes because you will map out what your processes are. And you'll have defined SOPs or yeah, an SOP, like a procedure for you or for your employees to be able to complete the tasks they need to complete. So, why are operations important? So, operations and standard operating procedures are important for several reasons. I'm not going to read this word for word, but it helps you create consistency in your business so that things are always done the same way. Efficiency, so that it's quicker and more time efficient to get things done because you have a defined process. Quality control, so that everything is the same. Everybody in your business is handling things the same way. Training, when you hire new employees, it goes a lot quicker because you will have videos and SOPs and steps in place to train those new employees. And then continuous improvement. You're going to over time, when a software updates, when the websites you're using change, when you just decide to take a new path, you're going to be updating these procedures so they're always updated. And so one thing that's important to keep in mind is this is one of those tasks. I think of it, like I don't like laundry, for example, because I feel like no matter how much laundry I do, it's never done. Um, but this is like that, except for in a positive way. Don't what people can get bogged down by is like I'm never going to get everything mapped out. I'm always adding something new in or changing something, or there's a lot of procedures that I want to map out. So take it one thing at a time, and we're going to talk about that more in detail. The next time you're pulling data from the county, record a Loom video of yourself doing that, and then create an SOP around that thing. And eventually you'll have most of your procedures mapped out. Now, there'll always be improvements. So you have to update certain things or you change something. So you create a new SOP for that thing. But just take it one step at a time. And the next time that you're doing a task, you map out that procedure. So, step one, you're going to identify what processes you want SOPs for. So, what needs to be documented and standardized through SOPs. Then you're going to document the process. So I always think the first thing to do is like take a Loom of yourself doing it. And then you also can create a template or a checklist with steps for people to do. And I'll show some of those today. Review and refine. So you're going to review the SOPs to ensure accuracy and completeness. You're going to refine the process to make it as efficient as possible. Then you'll use them to train new employees, so that you'll have access to them and they understand the processes and where they can get those steps. And then you watch out to make sure everybody's sticking to the SOP and you monitor it to make sure everything's being documented correctly and handled correctly. And then over time, you update and improve as things change or you update best practices. All right, so I'm going to show a few of these SOPs in just a minute, but some of the tools that we recommend that you can start using, because most of these are free. So you can use a free version of Loom. I believe if you're using the free version, you can do 5-minute videos. Flowcharts, I'm going to show Lucidchart just briefly to show kind of what I mean by using flowcharts. But there's also a free one called draw.io that does pretty much all of the same things. And then I use Google Docs to actually write out an SOP, and then I make an index or a database of what SOPs I've created in Google Sheets, which is like the Excel, of Google. So all of these, you can start creating it for free. Now, there are softwares out there to create SOPs and things like that. You can also use one of those, but this is like a good starting kind of line of free things that you can use to get started. All right. So what we'll do first, I do have a little worksheet that we're going to do, and I posted this worksheet in the Facebook community. So I can show that real quick where the post is, just so that you can see it. Let me just go here. So I'm just going to go to our Facebook community real quick just so you can see. So in our real estate mastermind community, I just created, oh, there I am. I just created a post right here with the worksheet that we're going to be going over. And this is just like a basic kind of worksheet to get us started thinking about what things do we need to know as we begin creating SOPs. All right, so you can access that there if you'd like to, or just follow along. And so now I'm going to share my tablet so that you can see the worksheet. Okay, so it looks like this, and I have a version kind of filled out as well. And we're going to go to the blank page. It just says training. So I'm going to start kind of at the beginning process, just to kind of get us started. And so What's one of the very first things that we do? We need to acquire data. So you can be getting data from many places, the county, list source, and now we also have data available at REI SIF. Now we provide sort of base data. There are some things that you can ask for, like you want multifamily or single family, you can request a zip code. There's different things like that. And so you want to message support if you want to request data. It's how much data you can get is based on your plan. So I'm going to make that our topic. I'm going to do requesting data from REI SIFT. Okay, so requesting data from REI SIFT will be the topic. Now you can make it even more specific, particularly if you're making one of these, like for getting data from the county. We really recommend you get like any vexations, which would be like, tax delinquent, probate, anything that could be keeping the homeowner up at night. We recommend that you get that from the county because it's free. And so when you're doing those kinds of lists, you probably want to make it very specific, like pooling pre-foreclosure data from blank, or pulling tax delinquent data from the county. Make it specific and have one for each one. Now, for these, you're going to think about who is your target audience. And so, like for example, I may have a VA messaging support to request data from REI SIF. And so there's some things that we want to think about when we're talking about our target audience. So, for example, have they ever messaged support? That's important because we want to make this SOP particularly about messaging for requesting data. So if they've never messaged support before, you may want to have an SOP about how they message support that comes before this one, for example. So think about like what previous knowledge would they need to be able to do this thing. Another thing you might want to think of, if you hire your VAs from other countries, is there any kind of language barrier they may encounter when watching your training or reading through your steps? So that's something to take into consideration. And so one thing that could solve that is to have a video and have written steps. And that's important whether or not there's a language barrier. Language barrier things you might want to look out for are like like certain phrases using like it's raining like cats and dogs, things like that that they may not we wouldn't use that in SOP, but any like phrases that may not make sense if you're not a native English speaker, looking for things like that. And then also to have videos and written steps and pictures if possible as time develops. I would recommend starting with a video and then writing out when time allows, writing out the steps that you took. And then you can even include like screenshots into that SOP, and I'll show one here in a second, right? So it's important to just think about your audience and what things may impact that based on the audience. And then the story, this is where you write out like what steps that they're going to have to do. So one, they're going to open the support chat. They're going to click request data or data request, I think it says. Yeah. And then there'll be like a little pop-up that opens. They're going to read the info. The info that pops up is how much data you're allowed to request per plan. And then they're going to click to open form. There's a little form that you fill out to request data. Then they're going to fill out form and submit. Then this is complete when REI SIFT sends back data. And one thing you can do, like you can say like the next SOP, would be uploading data, for example. Because once they get the data, the next thing they may want to do is to upload data into REI SIFT, right? Over here, we just have like a checklist of things that you can think of when you're when as you go through creating an SOP. So we came up with a topic, we have our core focus point. The next thing we'd want to do is, do a capture like Loom. You would want to put it in your cloud folder. So like you could use Google Drive. I'll show that in a second. And then any resources you might need, you're going to check these off as you go, and you can write in any additional steps you like to take in your SOPs. Okay. So this is just like really a breakdown to start thinking about what you want to include in an SOP and to have a checklist to kind of go through. Eventually, you wouldn't maybe fill out this training worksheet for every single SOP. You'd kind of know what you want to create, but these are important things to think about. Who is your audience? What do I need to think about when I'm gearing towards that audience? And then what steps need to be shown in this SOP? Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing this screen and I'm going to share an example of this SOP that I created. So here is this SOP, and this is available in that index that I created, that you can get as part of the Ninja bonus, but you can also make these, yourself as well. But here's an example. So let me zoom in a little bit. So I name them, and I'll show this in my index. This is an admin task, first one, requesting data from REI Sift. I put the date that I edited it or created it. I was the one that created it. The definition of completion is that data has been requested from REI Sift and REI Sift support has sent data back. Now we do that through an email, or if you already had an open chat, we might send it back through a chat. You can put a video URL here. So if I had recorded a Loom for this, I would add a Loom link here. And then step one, open the intercom chat from inside your account by clicking the arrow next to your name and then select talk with us or talk to us. So I click the little drop down here. And so I add a screenshot here and show them where to click. Step two, click send us a message. Click send us a message to open the chat and select data requests. And I highlight that. Step three, read the info about data request. Read the provided information about the amount of data that can be provided for free. Step three, open the data request form, which by clicking here, and answer the questions about what data you are requesting. So you answer these questions, then you click submit form. And then keep an eye out for your file, keep an eye out for your inbox. When support is done processing your request, they will email the CSV file. You can also get the file through an intercom chat if you have a chat open. Okay, so it's just outlining step by step. And then one thing I would do is also probably record a Loom video to show me doing it. All right, so that's an example SOP. Now, what we eventually would like to do is what we want to really always do is have all these SOPs stored in an index or a document. So I have an SOP index example, and this one's okay for live. That's just for my notes. But this is an SOP index example. And so I break it down. If you claim the Ninja bonus and you get this, this fast action bonus for that as part of that bonus, this is included, and the blue ones are linked to existing SOPs, like that requesting data one. And so I put the name of some example SOPs that you may want to create here. And then I name them. So like this is admin task 1, admin task 2, admin task 3. And then I put what type of thing it is here. So eventually you'd want to have, SOPs created for marketing, lead management, acquisitions, transactions, and dispositions. And as you do some of these processes, you create the SOP for that thing. So the next time that you set up some marketing filters, you add an SOP here. The next time that you call a new lead, you might want to record it and then go through some of the steps of how you qualify a lead and have that in an SOP. And then this one might want to have more than one video example. This was me qualifying a hot lead. This was me qualifying a cold lead, a warm lead. So as you go through these processes, you link the SOPs in this index so that as I train a new employee, like let's say I train a new lead manager, I can give them these SOPs to watch to see how these processes happen and read through those steps and know what to do. And so we create an index in that way. All right. The last thing I want to share as far as creating SOPs would be that you can also incorporate flow charts. So these are some of the flow charts that we create. I go over a lot more detail about creating that SOP index and creating SOPs. And I really go over these flow charts. We have a lot of flow charts that we go over in the Data to Dollars challenge. So if you want to see like detailed flow charts and how we go over them, definitely check out the challenge. But today I just wanted to kind of show how you can show some flow in a flow chart. So for example, the very first, this is our 6 organizational steps. You're explaining to a brand new employee, like, what's our overarching goal? We're going to market to get a new lead, qualify that lead, get it under contract. We choose one of our exit strategies. So maybe we're wholesaling, we assign or set closing, and the deal closes. Like, what's our step? So you can map that out. And then you can go over, like, what is each department responsible for? Then you can start doing flow charts. Where do we get data? And each of these could be linked. Like that document that I just made could be linked to this block so they can see this is how I get data from REI Sift, just for example. And so each of these blocks can be linked to those SOPs that we're creating as well. And then here you would show this is how you upload it to REI Sift. And so you can start building out these flow charts. And so the flow charts just show like here's the individual SOPs, but this flow chart shows how those SOPs are like linked together. All right. So the first thing we do is acquire the data from REI Sift. The next thing we do is upload it into REI Sift. And so they'll be able to see that flow of how these steps kind of link together. All right. Again, we go over those flow charts in much more detail in the Data to Dollars challenge if you're ever interested in checking it out. All right. So that kind of is the basics of how we create some SOPs in our business. And so eventually, as time goes on, you want to create as many of these as possible. One thing to keep in mind is like we're not going to finish today and have all of these SOPs created if we haven't started building them. So just keep in mind that you're going to start, doing a couple. So the next time you're doing one of these tasks, the next time you're pulling data, the next time you're skip tracing, the next time you're uploading, whatever that process is, record a Loom, make a document in Google, a free document, and create the SOP for that task, and then keep them in a list in Google Sheets. And so over time, if you start recording your processes each time you do one, you will build a database of those SOPs. And it does take some time in the front end, like it takes some time to record that. But if you do it as part of what you have to do anyways, like I have to pull data today anyways, let me record that for an SOP. It won't take that much longer, and it will save you time in the future when you're going to train new employees, when you want to have everything defined out like that. Or then always review and refine things over as they change over time. Alrighty. So we're going to kind of stop here today. It's a little bit of a short day. So look out for the day 4 homework post. I might just make one homework post because I think I have forgotten to post the homework the previous days. So look out for it. But normally on day 4, you would comment, what do you think is the most difficult part of establishing operations in your business? And is there anything you need to know or any actions you need to take to get it set up? All right. So we're done for today. You can look out for that homework post if you'd like to hop off now. I always go over our offer that we have available as part of this 5-day audit. If you want to stick around and hear the offer that we put together for this audit, then please stick around and listen. Otherwise, look out for that homework post, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 5 where we'll talk about KPIs. All right. So one thing that we heard from a lot of people when we would go to events or when we were on calls with them is, is there any way that I could, pay you guys to take everything that I want to do and set it up in the system for me? So to look at my personal, marketing, how I want to handle lead management, what exactly I'm using Sift for, and you set up all of those filter presets, tasks, sequences, set it up for me so I can just hop in, log in, and get started. And so Tyler looked at that and he looked at, what do other CRMs charge to do a full account setup tailored to that specific person? And it can be upwards of $5,000. So we decided to offer it as part of what we're calling the Instant Ninja bonus, because it will make you an instant ninja in your REI Sift account. So what we would do is we would gather all of your information through a survey that you'll fill out, and then we might follow up with phone calls to ask additional questions. And once we have all the information that we need, we would set up your account based on your specific marketing strategy and focus and how you want everything set up for your business. So we'd create the account and configure it to your specific needs and requirements. Then we would have another call to go over your account and teach you how to use it, show you how we set everything up. And then you would have continued support through onboarding and premium support calls as long as your business plan. This bonus comes with 3 months of the business plan. So during that time, you have those one-on-one calls available. And then if you continue on the business plan after that 3 months, you would be able to continue having those premium strategy calls and premium support calls. So if you're already an REI Sift user, we can review what you have already set up in your account and talk to you about what things you may want added, what processes that you haven't had a chance to set up yet, and we can help you review it, refine it, and continue setting it up. So with that, you'll be able to generate leads, document all your offers and communication, be able to be consistent, and we'll have it set up where you'll have tasks assigned as certain processes happen. And so as long as you're waking up every day and completing the tasks you need to, you'll be able to move forward in your business. So you'll stop wasting money, skip tracing owners, losing deals, falling behind in tasks. I always think that this one, though, falling behind in tasks, that comes with a little bit of a caveat because I have met with a lot of users who have their account set up wonderfully, but if they don't log in and complete their tasks, you can still fall behind in tasks. So you do still have to wake up every day and log in and be ready to complete your daily tasks. You'll be able to you won't waste money and not know where it's going, all of those things, because you'll have these processes and systems in place. All right, so like I said, you'll also be on the business plan for 3 months. Business plan is our highest tier of our 3 plans, and that comes with unlimited record storage, and you can upload up to 25,000 per month included in the plan, but you can upload additional each month if you need to by purchasing additional space. You can have up to 15 users. Each record can have up to 30 numbers. Your integrations can be inbound and outbound. You have those exclusive one-on-one calls that I was talking about with support calls, strategy calls, onboarding calls. Skip tracing is our lowest rate, and any of our customizations like sequences, filter presets, statuses, SIF line boards, all of that is unlimited on the business plan. If you already have an account, we can upgrade you to business for 3 months. And if you're already a business user, we would extend your billing by 3 months. So you can take advantage of this no matter what plan you're on or if you're brand new. Again, when you're a business user, you get that 90-day onboarding where we would train you on how to use the account if we set it up for you. And then you have regular calls to understand your unique needs and challenges, and you get customized training, personalized support, tailored implementation. So basically, we set up the account based on your needs, and then we have regular calls with you to adjust as needed or add in things you might want to add in, or this process isn't working quite like I expected I would. Can we refine it? We would help you with that. You also get access to all of our training. So, like earlier, I was mentioning our Data to Dollars challenge, which is now pre recorded. You get access to that. And then all of our other training. So we have a deep prospect research video. We have a KPI masterclass, lead management blueprint, deal analysis, and wholesale real estate business essentials course. You get access to all of those for free. All right, so if you would like to take advantage of the Ninja bonus, this is the website. I'll put it in the chat, although for some reason it doesn't like to go to the Facebook community. It only posts to the other two. So there it is again, in case I change the slide. That is the website that you would go to, and you can bookmark it if you'd like to take advantage of it in the future, or you can purchase it right now. However, if you are able to purchase it right now, we do also have some fast action bonuses. So the first one is migration services. So if you've been using another CRM such as Podio or anything like that, we can help you switch all of that over to Sift. We would work with you closely so you can export your data, and then we would actually upload that exported data into REI Sift for you. If it needs a little bit of cleansing, we would walk you through that process. You also get that SOP index that I showed today as an example, which does have some linked SOPs and examples of things that you may want to add. And you would just be able to make a copy and then refine the individual SOPs on what would work best for you. So that is also available. And then the last two is a Stiff Ninja t-shirt, which I think are priceless. And then brand new, we just got in maybe a few months ago, we got these sweatshirts. So not a lot of people have these yet. You can get an REI Stiff sweatshirt. And there's a picture of the back. The only picture of the back I had was Tyler getting a stop notice at a duplex that his wife Christina took, and so she sent it to me. So I have a picture of the back of the sweatshirt. All right, again, there is the Instant Ninja bonus website. We'd love it if you could take advantage, and we would love to work closely with you in getting your account set up the way that you would like it to be set up. All right, tomorrow is the last day of this month's 5-day audit. We'll be talking about KPIs, and we'll wrap up the challenge. It's been cool being live with you guys this week, and I hope that you've gotten some value out of it. Don't forget to set up your affiliate link. You can share the 5-day audit. It's what I usually promote because it's like a free way to get people in the door. And then if they convert to users, you also get commission as long as they're a user, 20% every month. But this month, you can also share your SIF Summit link. And if you get 3 new users, so you'd go to the affiliates tab in your account and you click down right here, where it says links, and it opens up your links. We have a new one added that says SIF Summit. And if you share that link and 3 people sign up, you can actually get a free ticket to our SIF Summit, which is our live real estate event in August here in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. I hope everybody makes it. I'm really excited to meet some new people, meet some new users, and have that time to work together. And we'll have some talks. We have some breakout sessions, I believe. So it'll be really exciting to see everybody in person. All right. And then lastly, if you're not a user yet, make sure when you sign up that you use the code 5-day audit, and you can get $25 in free credits when you do sign up. All right, that's it for today. A pretty short day from the rest of the week, 32 minutes. I hope you got some insight out of it. Message me if you have any questions, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.